Hey, 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 happy holidays. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, amazingly enough, GamingGang.com, of which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. This is live stream 861. And here's hoping this will not be a show which lives in infamy. If you are not familiar with this stream, let me point out, super casual around here. Just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news. And then we'll take a look at a game. So tonight, I am actually going to dive in and take a first look at Into the Odd Remastered from Free League Publishing. This is the new edition of Into the Odd. We will be taking a peek at this in just a bit. Should mention, if you are watching live and you're tuning in because you want to take a peek at Into the Odd, I always tackle the tabletop gaming news first. So it'll probably be about 35 minutes before we dive on into the odd. Of course, should also point out, when you're not watching videos here on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit gaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you're not going to find here on the YouTube channel. Also, this is live stream, so that means there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, maybe you've got a question, a comment, something about Into the Odd you want a closer peek at, by all means, chime in and I will do my best to respond. Should also let you know that you do need to be a subscriber to the channel for at least 48 hours before you can jump in a chat with us as well. So far, Stray Kismet is with us in chat. Welcome aboard. You're first out the gate tonight. Now, I know one of our regulars, one of our chat moderators, the Madman, is not going to be hanging out. It is his Wednesday game night. So I know we will not be seeing the Madman around. Which is okay, which is cool. We'll just have some fun with our other chat moderators when they show up. Fingers crossed, eh? All right, let's jump on into the news, because making its way into stores later on this month from Daily Magic Games is Thrones of Valeria. Here's what I know. If you like trick-taking games, you will love this one. In Thrones of Valeria, cards you play have powers. The rank of suits fluctuates, and winning a trick can actually be damaging depending on timing. Long ago, when Valeria was a fledgling realm, the five great houses were constantly bickering, stealing, conspiring, and even assassinating each other for the chance to become the wealthiest and most powerful house, allowing one to rise to the throne of the land temporarily. The game that evolved from their power struggles has thrived among the common people looking for a taste of the antics of the nobility, and is now the sort of game travelers play in taverns for fun and money. Thrones of Valeria reflects the tug of war between the great houses in the earliest days of the kingdom. This game represents a traditional card game with a deck made up of 5 suits of cards, numbered 1 to 9. plus 3 special jesters. Game also features a standings board and chunky mahjong-style house tiles to reflect the relative power of each house throughout the game. A draw bag for the house tiles and an assortment of coins are also included. Thrones of Valyria is for 2 to 5 players, ages 10 and up. Plays in about 30 to 45 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $30 when it arrives on December 28th. There are a trio of Valyria games that are arriving on December 28th. And I have shared news pieces about each and every one of them. So this is the one game that I did not get a chance. Oh no, wait a second. I did get a chance to take a peek at this one. So it was this one, and it was also Dice Kingdoms of Valyria that I had to take a peek at prior to their Kickstarters. And I've said it once, I'll say it 100 times. I've enjoyed all of Valyria games I've had an opportunity to check out. I haven't played them all, obviously enough, but there have been like 3 or 4, and I've liked each and every one of those. So keep your eyes peeled. December 28th, not only will Thrones of Valyria arrive, but 2 other Valyria games as well. It is Wednesday, so let's share a little wargaming news, because Tiny Battle Publishing has released the solitaire wargame Stout Hearts Battle in the Hedgerows. Here's the scoop. The divisional commander has ordered your brigade to push on into the bocage. Keep up with the flanking units. Don't let your chaps get sticky. There are only a few more miles until we are out into open ground. You have a battalion of infantry, well trained for the invasion, but after 2 months of fighting, they're getting tired. Replacements have come from disbanded units, as there are few men left in the UK who can be drafted. You have a battalion of infantry tanks to support your brigade, with dedicated Royal Artillery batteries for each infantry battalion. The infantry have their own mortars and anti-tank weapons for immediate support. Will they make it through the next few days, or will they crack? The attack starts tomorrow at 0500. Stout Hearts is a solitaire game based on Jay Ward's popular The Battle for Ramadi and Hui system. As Brigadier, your job is to push through the enemy defenses in exceptionally difficult terrain, utilizing not only your infantry platoons, but also tank, mortar, artillery, and machine gun assets. Intelligence on the enemy is limited. Are they SS? Are there Tigers? How many 88s do they have? Will they fight or will they run? Now's the time to find out. Stout Hearts is for 1 player. I would take a guess, probably ages 14 and up, as with most war games. And it does carry an MSRP of $36. So yes, we've got a new title available from Tiny Battle Publishing. So Sarah D is in chat with us, as is Coco B and Kathy Evans. All right, let's talk a little bit about some miniatures, because there's a new skirmish level miniatures rule system. It is on the very near horizon from Osprey Games. And here's the skinny on Xenos Rampant. Science fiction wargame rules for large skirmishes based on the popular Rampant system. Xenos Rampant is a setting-agnostic large skirmish miniature wargame for fighting science fiction battles using 28mm figures. Developed from the popular Lion Rampant rule set, the core mechanics featured within will be instantly recognizable to those familiar with the other Rampant systems, while still being accessible to new players. Xenos Rampant contains all the rules, army lists, and scenarios required to fight science fiction battles, as well as a whole host of subgenres, including post-apocalyptic, weird war, and near future. So whatever your science fiction preference, the rules can cover it. Just let your imagination run. You guessed it. Rampant. The hardcover is going to arrive in stores on December 28th. That is a big day in game stores. There is a lot of stuff hitting on December 28th. The hardcover will carry an MSRP of $35, or you'll be able to grab the PDF for $24.50. All right, so we've got another miniature system from Osprey Games. So, of course, we've got Stargrave for those who want more kind of like mano a mano science fiction combat. And now we have Xenos Rampant for larger scale battles. Should also mention that you're looking at miniatures from Northwind, who pretty much is the miniature company that Osprey Games always is promoting and sharing images of in their books. So definitely something to take a peek at. Flaming Huron is with us in chat. Good to see you, Flaming Huron. So we've got a couple of our chat moderators with us. Let's talk about some role-playing game news, because there is a new bundle of holding which has arrived, and it features the Spire role-playing game from Rowan, Rook, and Descartes. Here's the deets on the deal. Adventurer! We've resurrected our December 2020 Spire bundle featuring, you guessed it, Spire, the urban industrial fantasy punk tabletop role-playing game, co-designed by Grant Howitt and Chris Taylor. In Spire, the mild, tall city of 1,000 gods, you're a dark elf who's joined the Ministry Resistance movement to overthrow your cruel high elf overlords. Subvert, intrigue, and fight your way through the subterranean levels of Derelictus and Red Row, up to the frozen reaches of Amaranth and New Haven, in a superbly imaginative, weird fantasy setting funded in a July 2017 Kickstarter. This revived December 2020 offer once again presents much of the Spire line, everything you need to lead your own revolt. Oh, that's just revolting. For just $12.95, you get all 3 titles in this Revival Starter Collection, which have a retail value of $45, as DRM-free PDFs or audio tracks. I guess there's some audio included with this. And this includes the complete Spire The City Must Fall core rulebook, plus the new Spire Quick Start, the Strata source book, and 3 campaign frames that get you started playing quickly. Blood and Dust, Eidolon Sky, and the Kings of Silver. And if you pay more than this, Revived offers threshold price of $21.57. You'll also get the entire bonus collection with 6 more titles worth an additional $34, including the scenarios and source books, Shadow Operations, Black Magic, Codex of the Deep Spire, Book of Masks, and Secrets Kept from the Sun. Also included are 7 MP3 tracks from Tabletop Audio, composed as backer rewards for the Spire Kickstarter campaign, and not for sale anywhere else. This offer also includes a discount code good through January 11th, 2023 for 15% all purchases of Spire and Heart, which is a spin-off from Spire, which is also the subject of a bundle of holding right now. You can get 15% off Spire and Heart print products at the Rowan, Rook, and Descartes web store, including the brand new Spire supplements, Sin, and the Magister's Guide. These savings run through December 26th, and 10% of your payment after gateway fees will be donated to the Diana Jones Award Emerging Designer Program. Sweet. So if you've ever been interested in checking out Spire, this is your prime opportunity to do so. For some reason, I could have swore that Spire is powered by the apocalypse. I'm not positive, but I thought it was. So It's either Powered by the Apocalypse or it's a spin-off from City of Mist. No, I don't think it's City of Mist. I think it is Powered by the Apocalypse. Doug Roberts has joined us in chat. Welcome aboard. Let's move on to my final news piece because Cubicle 7 Entertainment is now offering to take pre-orders for the Warhammer 40K Wrath and Glory starter set. Here's what I know. The Wrath and Glory starter set contains everything you need to begin role-playing action-packed adventures in the world of Warhammer 40K. Whether this is your first tabletop role-playing game or you're an experienced game master, this exciting box set is the perfect starting point for anyone interested in Wrath and Glory. The starter set includes Trader's Hymn, a 48-page adventure set aboard the Veronius Flotilla, the beleaguered flotilla of ships intended to relieve the system, but which is now trapped in Gilead along with the rest of the system's denizens. The adventure teaches you and your friends how to play. No prep required. Then we've got the Veronius Flotilla, a guide to the ship's crew and brutal internal politics of the fleet, led to Gilead by the rogue trader Jaquel Veronius, packed with NPCs, plot hooks, one-page adventures, and detailed ports of call around the system. This is the perfect way to continue your Wrath and Glory campaign. A thrilling introduction to the Gilead system, the exciting setting of Wrath and Glory. There are also 5 gatefold character sheets with pre-generated characters, each with their own goals, background, and connections. 3 two-sided rules reference sheets with summaries of important rules in combat, tokens for tracking wrath, glory, and ruin, and a set of 8 six-sided dice, including 1 unique wrath die. You can pre-order the physical box set for an MSRP of $39.99. It is not going to ship until Q3 of next year. But if you pre-order, you'll receive the PDF, which is actually available right now. If you want just the PDF alone, you can, of course, grab that over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. Nice to see Cubicle 7 is going to continue to support Wrath and Glory, because I was curious, because they are working on a Warhammer 40K role-playing game that is going to be all theirs. So if you recall, Wrath and Glory was actually Ulysses Spiel, I should say. And there were issues, and it ended up with Cubicle 7. So, and they came out with an updated edition of the rule book. But as I mentioned during the interview that I had with Dominic McDowell back at Gen Con this past year, I was glad to see that they were still supporting Wrath and Glory. And then he started talking about the new Warhammer 40K. And it is going to be, I would think, I'm not sure, but I would think it is probably going to be along the lines, the same mechanics as Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. Just a stab it. I'm guessing it's going to be percentile dice based. All right. So who else? Oh, Kevin R. Smith popped in. I was going to say, I thought I saw somebody else hopping on into chat. Sweet. All right. Once again, this is available as a pre-order for $39.99, or you can get the PDF right now for $19.99. And one last thing I should mention, as we already know, Cubicle 7 Entertainment likes to put the PDFs out there long before the files go to the printer. So I would think there's probably some tweaks that are still going to have to be made. So don't expect the PDF to be the absolute finished product just yet. All right, that is it for tonight's news. Of course, I was just talking about DriveThruRPG. Don't forget, the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you're going to go visit, say, DriveThruRPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a little portion of that sale. All those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Also, if you like this video, besides giving it a thumbs up, of course, if you dig the channel, if you feel thegaminggang.com is a valuable resource, hell, if you just like what we do, feel free to stop on by paypal.me/thegaminggang and making a small donation, just like Joshua Edwards did. And it wasn't a small donation either. So, big tip of the cap, big thank you to all of you out there who utilize the banner ads to the One Bookshelf sites and who stop by paypal.me. And of course, there are still about 125 used games currently on sale that you can find over at thegaminggang.com. So, Flaming Heron thought for sure my news piece was going to be Archives of the Empire Volume 3 for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. No, nope. Sorry. One of the reasons why is because I didn't run across that until later. Because remember, I've pointed out, Cubicle 7 Entertainment is going through some growing pains with the marketing department, and they're still not sending out like press releases like they used to. So kind of stumbled across the starter set, and then after I put the news together and that, I was like, oh, look, they've revealed the Archives of the Empire Volume 3. It's like, oh, well. So Flaming Heron says that I'm a national treasure. I don't know. Coco B says international treasure. I don't know about that either. All right, so we are going to be taking a look at Into the Odd Remastered in just a little bit. But first, I did want to mention a comment that I had seen on my review of Dungeons & Dragons, Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. And yeah, I can see where this person was coming from. So, if I have the alternate art edition, I always give it away from the D&D releases. I don't need 2 books. Silly for me to have 2 books. Well, of course, in this case, I had 3 books. So I had the deluxe edition, which was the box set that I shared the unboxing with. And then, of course, I also received the standard retail edition, as well as what I like to call the friendly local game store edition. So I was giving those away and just hanging on to the one that was part of the deluxe edition. And the contests are always, leave a comment, be a subscriber, and things like that. And somebody had commented that the winners are never like regulars. And it's just random. I have, no say in it. It's a random number generator that I use. So I kind of thought, well, on one hand, the reason why I do the contest is to help bring in new viewers, new subscribers, and things like that. But yes, I could see where people are like, hey, I'm a constant viewer. I'm always hanging around, watching your videos, commenting, things like that. I never get a chance to win. So I could understand, not necessarily frustration, because that'd be silly to be frustrated by that. But I could see where kind of think, hey, those newbies, they're they got an advantage on me, which they honestly really don't. So what I'm going to be doing as often as I possibly can, and it might be quite often on the streams, I'm going to do my best to be able to give away a copy of that game in PDF. And I'll make it relatively easy for people to win. Once again, got to be a subscriber, and please, thumb up the video, right? But this will hopefully get some of our constant viewers, our regulars, a better opportunity to win stuff. So I'm going to start tonight. So I will give away a copy of Into the Odd Remastered in PDF from Free League Publishing. So if you want to get into the running, I'll make it pretty easy. What is your favorite odd movie? And tell me why in the comments. And what I will do, I will actually select a winner and announce the winner on Monday. So you have, if you're watching live, that gives you time to comment. And of course, hopefully you're a subscriber and you thumb up the video. So that'll give you time to jump on board. And I will give you till Sunday. And then I will randomly, I'm Englishing well today. I will randomly select a winner and announce it on Monday's show. If I have something, what I'll try to do is, let's say if I had a giveaway for like Monday, I'll reveal the winner on Wednesday. So not only do those who watch live get an opportunity to get in, but there are also people who don't have an opportunity to watch live. So I want them to be part of that as well. So there you have it. And I will answer the question that I just asked myself. And I think an oddball movie that I like, I haven't seen it in a while, but I've always liked it, is Better Off Dead with John Cusack. And it's super weird because there are a lot of classic lines from that are still like ongoing running jokes with my friends and I. So if I say to my best friend Elliot, I want my $2, he knows exactly what's going on. Hey, Lane, I know I'm just a cartoon character. So the reason why I think it's an oddball movie is if you've seen it, the first half of the movie is like super bizarre. You're like, who the hell? And it's really weird. And then right about the halfway point to the end, it just becomes a regular, like late 80s, early 90s teen comedy. It's not bizarre anymore. It's like, the hell happened? So there you go. That's my odd movie that I am a fan of. So Chen from Taiwan is with us in chat. Welcome aboard. So Flaming Heron says you've offered that at times for viewers to streams at least. Figure it's all luck of the draw. It is. It is. It's, it is what it is. I've done, drawings live and things like that. Doug Roberts says it's a good movie. It's a weirdo movie. It's a very weird movie. When they're having dinner and the Jell-O mold is like crawling across the table. I remember I saw that in the theater with my best friend Elliot, and we were looking at each other like, It's like, what is this? And then all of a sudden it was like normal. Okay. All righty. Okay, we're going to dive on into the Odd Remastered in just a few moments. But first, I think it's time for a brief intermission.
Hi, how are you again?
I have some last-minute gift problems.
Don't worry. Hickory Farms has over 100 gift packs. Gifts with mild cheddar cheese, smoky bar cheese. We are the super cheese market.
Yes,
and Hickory Farms specialties like beef stick and sweet hot mustard.
Look, I'll just put myself in your hands.
Okay. Let's see. It's 14 elves.
Mm-hmm.
How many reindeer?
Well, there's Dasher and Dancer and Prancer.
Got a Christmas story to tell, and you really want to tell it well. Get it, don't forget it, on Kodak Film. You can tell every second.
Every picture tells a story. Capture the color of Christmas this year on fresh Kodak film.
I got it!
I gotta say I got it.
I got it!
Kodak wishes you some merry, merry pictures.
That's $65 for a cup of Wilkins coffee?
$65?
You want me to go in there looking like a bum?
It's the Action Kids. What in the world are they up to now?
Let's get right down to business.
Business? What business?
Fun business!
The Fun Pack Carry-All Action Playset by Marx. Look, this opens up the wild action world of Fort Apache. With Indians, cavalrymen, shell-shooting cannons. And here are the fighting knights, with a real drawbridge, knights, Vikings, and rock-throwing catapults. Here's the boot camp, with tank, jeep, bullet-shooting machine guns, and 80 soldiers. Or land a helicopter at Cape Kennedy. Fire the rockets, back the space missile into the launching pad, and start the countdown. It's off into space. Zoom! Get Fort Apache. Get the Fighting Knights. Get the boot camp. Get Cape Kennedy. Get all four. And carry your own world of action wherever you go. The Rugged Steel Carry-All Action Playsets by Marx.
Yes, multiple ways with those Marx playsets to put your eye out, kid. It shoots this, it shoots that, it flings this. Shoot that rocket in your face. Jonathan Spencer and Preston Powell are with us in chat. Do want to mention, don't share your oddball movie in chat. Got a comment in the comment section of the video to be in the running. So the other thing I have to chuckle about is the Hickory Farms commercial. One of my buddies in high school worked at Hickory Farms for the Christmas season. Despised it. Hated it. I wouldn't be surprised if he still thought it was the worst job he ever had. So, but it was funny because he was at the mall and we'd swing by and you know, say hi to him and stuff. And it was just because I think they had him unloading trucks all the time. And of course, for the holiday season, you're going through a lot of products. So, all righty then. So let's dive on into the Odd Remastered from Free League Publishing. It's written by Chris McDowell with artwork provided by Johan Noor. The 144-page hardcover carries an MSRP of $39.99, or you can grab just the PDF alone over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. Kevin points out they can imagine carry-all action play sets as a gaming product. A box with terrain and minis for like hundreds or thousands of dollars. Yes, for the Beetle and Grimm's customer base. For those who have money burning holes in their pockets. Swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Into the Odd. Before we jump on in, do want to mention the fine folks over at Free League Publishing were kind enough to provide me with this review copy. Neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. These days, it's important that you know that. I'll also be picture in picture up here, as I always am. So that means I'll be cutting off a bit of the upper left portion as we take a look through. Not going to look at each and every page, but I want to explore Into the Odd because I've always heard good things about it, and I don't know a ton about it. So, taking a peek at the back. A rules-light, flavor-heavy role-playing game of industrial horror and cosmic strangeness. Bastion is the only city that matters. It's in its industrial age. It sits in the smoke-shrouded hub of mankind, surrounded by a world of lurking horrors and cosmic interference. The underground spreads beneath our feet, and the stars loom above. All right, so let's jump on in. So I will mention that right off the bat, really, really solid paper stock here. And it's a matte finish. So those of you who hate glare, tain't none here, Dooley. So we've got an introduction. The world is too large for explorers to map and too old for academics to record. Expeditions return with tales of places bizarre, wondrous, and horrific. You are an explorer, braving the unknown in search of riches, knowledge, and power. Most of all, you seek arcana, strange devices holding unnatural powers. Or it could be arcana. I don't know. I always default to arcana. They range from a humble piece of jewelry to vast sculptures. There are many religious and scientific theories around their existence, but most settle somewhere in between. All right, so how do you play an RPG? Yes, thank you. Rolling up your characters. So I can see that the art style is going to be another one of these games where it's kind of funky. Check out our funky art. So we have 3 attributes, 3 core attributes: strength, dexterity, and willpower. So 3d6, 10 is the average. Players start with d6 hit protection, hit points. Measure their ability to avoid life-threatening damage. So each of the characters will get a starter package. And for smaller player groups, each player may create 1 or more companions. And it, looks like their companions get their attributes rolled, and then they get one hit point. Yikes. Okay, so here we've got our starter package table. So it says, match your highest ability score against your HP to find your starting package. Well, that's kind of cool. So I would take a guess that if you ended up with high hit points and your highest attribute is something pretty good, like 17, 18, you probably get crap. Well, not crap, but your gear probably isn't as sweet as somebody who's strolling around with pretty crappy attributes. So we've got equipment. So our cash is pennies, which 100 pennies make a shilling, 100 shillings make a guilder. And then we've got a price list. Playing the game, this is what I'm curious about. Saves. A save is a roll. Yeah. A save is a roll to avoid danger from a risky action or situation. Roll a 20-sided die. You roll equal to or under the appropriate ability score, you pass. 1 is always a success. 20 is always a failure. As we can see, this is very, very rules light. Actions. On their turn, a character can move and perform an action, which are detailed on the next page. Turns. Generally, the players take their turn before any enemies. If there is a risk of being surprised, characters must each roll a dex save or be unable to act on the first turn. On their turn, players can act in any order they wish. So I thought that one of the interesting aspects of Into the Odd was their encumbrance system. I could be wrong. So it looks like our rules essentially are like 5 pages. Because then we've got our arcana. So if you might actually start off with one. So that's kind of cool. So as an example, we've got the soul chain. Soul train. Get up, start shaking your booty. Target must pass a dex save to avoid your touch, or they lose D6 willpower, and you get a glimpse of their current desire. Huh. We've got some greater arcana as well. An example of play. After the expedition, so we have experience levels. So we have novice, professional, expert, veteran, master, and beyond. Most often, the goal of an expedition is to find valuable treasure or powerful arcana in a mysterious environment. A successful expedition is simply one that returns to safety with something to show for it. Yeah. Sounds about right. This could be a lost artifact, a terrible secret, or just a good story. Kind of paging through here. This the game master. Yep, there we go. Refereeing. I kind of had a feeling it was because it's like, okay, so how do these ability scores work? Understanding how saves work. So the referee should give information, present choices, show impact. We got treasure and riches, obstacles, tricks, and hazards. It looks like the majority of the page count is going to be devoted to the game master. The odd world. Bastion is the hub of mankind. Bastion is the only city that matters. I think we already... No. Okay, I was going to say, for a second, I was like, isn't that what was on the back? That was. Its skies are black with smoke and its streets bustling with residents. Vast factories produce mass goods, fed by canals and rail from every corner of the world. Mobs flood the streets with hanged corpses in their search for otherworldly imposters. Meanwhile, the star cults have vastly different beliefs and agendas, rarely coexisting peacefully. Okay, so stop reading if you intend on playing in these locations. Oh, so we've got an introductory adventure, the Iron Coral. So I should point out, if you are a player and your game master is picking up or has picked up Into the Odd Remastered, you might want to tune out because we're going to take a look at some of this adventure stuff. So let's see. So it appears that the presentation of the adventure is similar with bullet points, kind of similar to Old School Essentials from Necrotic Gnome. So I'll give you an example. Collapsed escape route. Narrow tunnel, dead end. Corpse, partially eaten by the tendrils, 20 shillings. Almost said silver. I'm like, no, it's not silver. We also have tendrils, which are a creature that's going to attack or they are attacking. D6 damage, retractive, harmed. We've got a wandering encounters table. So it looks like you could squeeze quite a lot into the game here with these kind of bullet points. I would also take a stab that this is a very old school flavored sort of game as well. Whereas we're not seeing, oh, here's these big plot points that you need to make sure that, take place in the adventure. Just kind of giving us the location, what's in the location. Is this how looks like? Yeah, that's all that adventure there. Then it looks like we've got a bit of a hex crawl. The Fallen Marsh, a soggy place with hazardous fog and hideous odor. Each year, the land sinks deeper and has become overgrown with thick vegetation. Even the local wildlife have grown odd. William Hell His Ice is with us. Good to see you, William. So it is a hex crawl. So we've got some locations in these various different hexes. And then we have Hope Send, Last Port of the North. Arrivals from Bastion. So they're ships. So it says at any given time, at least 2 ships from Bastion are docked here. They don't stay long. And then you roll a D12 to see what 2 ships are there. It's kind of cool. The Oddpendium provides additional material for both referees and players. Using the Oddpendium. As a referee, you're constantly expected to think on your feet. Yes, that is also an old school kind of vibe to it. Think of this section as a toolbox for those moments when you need a strange drink to find in a flask, a creepy landlord, or just a random event to shake up the situation in your game. These tables do not give you fully fleshed out ideas. Monsters can be generated but won't yet have ability scores. Characters can appear but won't have a complete backstory. Arcana can have strange powers, but you may need to educate their use yourself. Or I should say, adjudicate. What's the street like? Is there a link to the underground? Astral cults. What's that island? I eat the stuff. It's kind of funny. I have to take a peek at Worlds Without Number one of these days. I'm very curious because it is another RPG. It's got an old school vibe that I've heard very good things about. And Sammy reviewed it. It was not, she had the PDF. I didn't have it. So something else I'm kind of curious about one of these days. All right. So that is Into the Odd. Kind of wild. So, of course, I will have a review of Into the Odd Remastered in the very near future. Once again, this 144-page hardcover is available now. It carries an MSRP of $39.99, or you can grab just the PDF alone over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. And if you're tuning in late, I've already told you how you can win a copy of Into the Odd Remastered in PDF, and I will reveal the winner on Monday's show. All right, let's swing back over to the other camera. This looks really wild. So, yeah, it certainly doesn't look like it'll take long to read through to do a review. So, very, very cool. Very nice. All righty. So, that is kind of it. Pretty fast show tonight. So, I should talk about what we're going to be taking a look at next week. I do have a package coming from Free League Publishing, and it's another one that I have no idea what it is. I have no clue. Because I'll get an email and then there's a code. So when Blade Runner and the Blade Runner starter set shipped out, the code was BR whatever. I was like, oh, Blade Runner coming now. Now I know. This is REV. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. Well, we'll find out. We shall find out. For a second, I thought, well, I know there's a new adventure supplement for Vossen, but I don't think that would be it. So, and that just came out. So I don't know. I have no idea. But next week, Monday's show, we are going to dive on in and take a first look at Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, Empire in Ruins. The conclusion to the Enemy Within Director's Cut. So we're going to take a peek at that on Monday. On Tuesday, we're actually going to look at the companion. So if you are fans of Wifrip, definitely tune in. I will probably shoot my Horned Rat review this weekend. I'd been kind of holding off, but yeah, well, it's all out now. Then Wednesday, we're actually going to have a War Game Wednesday. So we're going to take a look at The Hill of Death from my friend Herman Lutman from Tiny Battle Publishing. Unless we see a GMT Games box arrive with Charioteer. We'll be diving into Charioteer if that happens to be the case. But I still think that's probably another week or so away. All righty. Also should mention my City of Cats review from Kobold Press, by the way, for 5e D&D. You'll be able to check that out tomorrow. And then later on in the week, my review of the core rulebook for Lex Arcana is going to be out there as well. So plenty on the horizon. So William says, oh, they just got the book in the mail, never opened it. I'm not sure which book. Just talking about a bunch of them there. All right, pretty cool. Also should mention that, as I usually do, there will not be any live streams the week between Christmas and New Year's. I mean, it's just how I've always done it. But what I'll probably end up doing is actually shooting the initial episodes of my new series that I'll be rolling out there. Series plural, which I'm still not gonna point out. So William says, oh, the one you reviewed, bah humbug. No caroling. I always take a break for the holidays. You know, if you follow the gaming gang, every quarter, I usually take a week off just to kind of recharge the batteries and that. Okay. Anyway, as I mentioned once again, Monday, we're going to take a look at Empire in Ruins. And I'm kind of cheating because I've already read this. Even though it's in shrink, I've read the PDF. So I will pretend that I haven't seen it before. That's really a first look. All righty then. So that is it for this time out. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube. I'll also inform you when I upload other videos, such as my review of City of Cats. It's so familiar from Cobalt Press. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you won't find here on the YouTube channel. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it happens to be in your neck of the woods. And if you were watching live, thank you very much. If you were watching live and you took part in chat, bonus points for you. But of course, I know a lot of people, they don't have an opportunity to watch live. Doesn't matter if you're watching live or on Memorex. Thank you very kindly for taking time out of your busy life to watch any of these videos here on the YouTube channel. All right. As I said, enjoy the rest of your week. Great weekend. And I'll be back Monday. Here's hoping each and every one of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.
Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, that's okay. You don't have to leave just yet. In fact, why don't you subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel right here, or take a peek at the latest live stream, or even find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks again for watching.